This is Digging in the Crates Hip Hop Podcast. The Hooker and Mac Show. We back. Stakes is high today. Mac, the sun is shining. Stakes is high. Man, it's been a minute, man. How does it feel to be back in the studio?
Man, it's always good, man, to come back and connect with you, Hook. Man, I'm glad to be here.
Oh yeah, I'm glad to be here on this tremendous day. It might be a little controversial today, but
just a little.
But we might pull something out the can, and
just a little.
But other than that, man, Mac, what's been going on, man? How was your Christmas break?
Man, the break was pretty good. Got a chance to spend time with the family. See some of the elders. So that's always good. I appreciate it a lot more as I get older because I realize that time is something that is gonna slip away from us all. So try to enjoy it while it's here.
Yeah,
not here forever.
Yeah, we enjoyed the elders. You had a chance.
You got a chance to meet your people too.
Yeah,
man.
That was crazy, wasn't it, Mac? Yeah, Mac came over and got a chance to, meet my family, my brother, and my niece and my sister-in-law, and we played some games and had a little, swish swash drink.
Hey man, you look just like your mom too, man.
Oh, really? Wow. Okay. Well, hey, that's my twin,
like
man.
Your mom, man.
Yeah. So,
for sure.
Well, I get a lot of character from my mom, man. Just jovial and jokes. But now my dad, he's the true jokester.
Is he a jokester?
Yeah. He didn't get a chance to get to you, but he was like, "Who's this Mac coming over?" I said, "That's my partner in crime." I said, "Now, you got to catch up with him because he might be in Africa one day. He might be in Belize.
Here we go.
He might be at the golf course. That's my co-host. That's what he does. So, Mac, there's been a lot of things going on a more serious note. The incident happened in Memphis with the slaying of Tyrese Nichols. That was just beyond the scope of things, even considering Black police officers.
Yeah, I'll be honest, man. It was disgusting, man. It was, and disheartening that we would be involved in it.
Mm-hmm.
Not that it's not any less disgusting when it happens with white officers and Black people. Both of them are equally disgusting. It's just, I don't know, man. The lack of care for just human life, man. It's just a very tragic thing,
it was
man.
very tragic. I mean, my mom was even watching it. She said that supposedly, I don't know which some of those officers, they actually went to HBCUs from just doing the research. But we talk about
that's even more sad.
We talk about police brutality, but the fact that a human life, is just being taken away, and like you just mentioned, the elders being around them and learning from them, I think is important. But again, that was just Mac. I was froze, man. I was just like, man, they beat him. I know we on air, but they beat him like like a savage dog. Like, but that's somebody's brother. That's somebody's father. That's somebody's uncle. That's somebody's son, man. Like, we gotta do better of policing ourselves, but there has to be some accountability on the part of the government and the part of the police department. Now I'm not gonna say every police department is like that, but that's just. Then it was a special unit, a Scorpion unit, Mac. I mean, they're not in the military,
right?
So I think it goes around the training, but. We're moving on. So today is kind of, we've been off the air, but we're back on the air. And so we're going to dive in some areas that my co-host really wants to delve into. But also, Matt, let's, for the first part of rest in peace to True Dove from De La Soul, man. When I heard he passed away, man, that kind of hit home for me because 3 High and Rising, Saturday, Break of Dawn. So when you think about just him, David in general, but when you think about De La Soul, what comes to mind when you think about just that group and what they meant to hip hop?
I mean, it reminds me of my childhood. listening to Me, Myself, and I,
Yeah.
which is one of their most popular hits. I think I heard that. I might have been in middle school when that came out. So, you know, they've been around for a long time. I kind of associated them and Tribe and Leaders of the New School kind of all together, you know. So when you think about one, it make you think about the other. So to learn that, you know, Dave, the Dove passed, it was sad, man. Especially when I heard they were just about to get their rights back to the music.
Exactly.
So you know, very strange that it would happen right before that's about to occur.
You say, I mean, the 3 is the magic number, but when I think about De La Soul, I think about right after in the 80s and the 90s, I'm thinking about, hey, how you doing? Your number. Can I get next to you? And I'm like, you think of summertime, you think about, I mean, they're on skateboards and stuff. Yeah. So I think that they hit hip hop in another level, just like your Tribe Called Quest, your Jungle Brothers, certainly. And then, you got Prince Paul. But what I would say is that, and then Stakes is High. That was a classic done by Jay Dilla. And then when you watch Stakes is High, people forget about Jerry Stackhouse was in that video.
I forgot that he was in that.
Yes, go back and look at. Hopefully, we get in the clip.
Go back and look.
Jerry Stackhouse was dunking in the Stakes is High video.
Okay.
And then Saturday, which was great.
Right.
Saturday. That was
a good song.
What were some other hits they had?
Oh man, you've already named the ones that I can think of off the top of my head. I'm sure there's some other ones that if I hear it, I'm like, oh yeah, I remember that, but they're not coming to mind.
3 is a magic number.
Yeah.
What else? Stakes is High.
You said Break of Dawn already, didn't you?
Yeah, Break of Dawn. But I mean, even with them being on the Scenario.
Yeah. Yeah.
The Scenario.
Yeah. Like I said, I always thought about them and Tribe and Leaders of the New School all together. It was a time where quote unquote gangster rap was kind of coming on the scene, but they weren't a part of it, but the music was still good. So it was good to me, that was one of the best times in hip hop because the music was so, such a vast, a variety of it.
Right.
Yeah. So whether you had the gangster or you, like you said, you had the folks on skateboards, whether you had the black conscious music from Public Enemy and African Bambaataa and Poor Righteous Teachers, like all of that music happened within about a good 5 or 6 years.
And I think they added a different layer to the way they dressed.
They did.
Especially if you look at Break of Dawn. I mean, they're got shorts on, the haircut. I mean, just think about Me, Myself, and I. They got the
Dove had the funky haircut.
Dove had the bunky haircut. But in more recent news, he passed away. It was confirmed that he had some congestive heart failure. But True God had recently been going by the name Dove and was also known as Plug 2 and had been open about his bout with congestive heart failure. Man, we got to take care of ourselves. In recent years, in De La Soul 2017 Royalty Caps video, True God candidly spoke up about his ailing health issue, and he wanted to perform. And he was basically saying, "Hey, I'm ready to get back on stage." He said, "But I missed that. I love traveling. I love being around my guys, and I want back." De La Soul was part of the Grammys hip hop tribute performance last week. So, did you happen to watch the Grammys?
No, I don't normally watch or participate in the Grammy stuff anymore.
You boycotting the Grammys? Is that what you're saying?
I guess you want to call it that. I mean, it's kind of like the Oscars for me. They both represent the same thing. Many of the black artists, whether you talk about music or when we're talking about black actors and actresses, when it comes to the Oscars, it's almost like they're looking for validation. But why do we need validation from other people? Like, our people know what movies were good, what songs were good.
Okay.
And so when we complain, for example, when we had the whole Oscars so white, or why is it that Beyonce has won the most Grammys of any artist, but has never won Best Album? Does that make any sense?
No, it doesn't make any sense.
Because you got the wrong people evaluating.
That's true. And the people who evaluate, they may not necessarily be wedded or connected to the music industry.
That's why I don't participate in watching it.
I hear what you're saying. But when I watched it and they did the 50th year of hip hop, they gave the Grammy something to think about. And the reason why I say that is because they were able to take the different eras of hip hop, mix it up in 5 to 10 minutes, 5 minutes, and move it all the way up to now. Because Gorillaz, I think she was the last one. But I like that because it seems like they're trying to bridge, the gap, make it tighter. But
I can appreciate that.
But this thing with validation, I agree with you, Matt. This thing about validation of them.
We don't need them to validate.
We don't need to. We got James Brown. We got you got Teddy Pendergrass. You got Leaders of the New School. You got Tribe Called Quest. You got Missy Elliott. You got Eric B. and Rakim. The list goes on and on when you talk about the Grammys. But even with the producers, you mean to tell me it took this long for Dr. Dre to get a Grammy?
Wow, I didn't realize that's what happened?
Yeah.
That was the first time he won a Grammy?
I'm not sure, but they finally recognized him for all the accomplishments.
See, this is exactly what I'm talking about. That's why I don't watch. Everything we're talking about when it comes to knowing how many people won what is because I read, so I see the stuff. That's how I found out the information about Beyonce having the most. But yeah, I probably stopped watching the Grammys literally 10, 11 years ago.
Mm-hmm. And also they started, there was an issue between Offset and Quavo or whatever.
I heard about that. Are we serious, man?
Yeah, they did a tribute, and he was saying he knocked him from being on there. Why I don't know, but they're seriously arguing about something like that when it's a tribute. After
the death of Takeoff, you would think that bygones could be bygones, and they squashed it, but according to the reports, they got in a fight backstage.
Yeah. Speaking of, I think is it Quavo or Offset? Which one of them has the McDonald's?
That's Offset. Him and Cardi.
Yeah, him and Cardi B.
Yeah.
Who's gonna take their loved one to McDonald's for Valentine's Day?
Hey, I tell her, get that bread, man. They gonna pay them to do the commercial. Hey, you gonna get paid. Get your money. Get your money.
They were once wearing
I hope those brothers can work it out, though, man.
I hope so.
From everything I read, aren't they kin to each other?
Huh? Yeah, they kin to each other.
Yeah, I think they're cousins or something like that.
Yeah,
And Takeoff was the nephew of Quavo.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, that's crazy.
They need to get it together, Mac. I remember when they first came out wearing the little blouses or whatever you call it.
Did they have on some blouses? I never see that.
Man, you go back and look at the shirts and stuff.
Migos?
Yes.
They had on the...
It's not a blouse, but that's what it looks like.
They had on a kilt?
Nah, I ain't gonna go that far. That's more... See, now you're talking about Kanye.
Hey, I'm just asking. Kanye got these people out here wearing these damn big-ass red boots.
I don't know where that comes from. I was looking at it on Instagram and some other shit.
You gonna get you some of them shoes, man?
No. No, I'm not gonna do that, Mac. Don't even put that in my space.
Hey, listen, man, go ahead and get you some. I ain't gonna judge.
You gonna get you some Kanye's?
Man, no.
Come on, man.
I'm not trying to put no money in Kanye's pocket the way he be talking crazy. Nah, I'm good on that.
Just like when he said Bush don't like black people. Remember he said that?
Yeah, that's what Kanye lost his mind. So
yeah, he loses his mind. But so also we want to highlight Rihanna at the Super Bowl.
The Super Bowl performance. Absolutely.
How was that, Mac? That was
mid.
What do you mean it was
mid?
So it wasn't that good?
It wasn't great. It wasn't bad. It was mid. Now, I know people gonna thrash me for saying that. She was pregnant and all of that. I'm like, okay, I get it. She was pregnant. Okay, can't control that.
But you're gonna say mid? I thought it was excellent.
Mid. I thought the dancers were really good.
Was Genuine in there? Was he one of the dancers?
Here we go.
I'm just saying. They were covered up. We don't know who. It might have been Chris Brown. I don't know. He might have.
Here's the things I think would have made it. First of all, I've seen Rihanna before.
Okay.
So I know what she's capable of giving us. We hadn't seen her in 7 years.
That's true.
But I do recognize that she was pregnant, so certain things she couldn't do. But I think what would have made it better is she didn't bring any guests out. It would have made the show a lot better. She played some of the songs, for example, from Kanye and Jay-Z and stuff like that. Features. Bring T.I. out the song that she played with T.I. Like, something like that, I think would have made it a lot better.
Now we get into she can't support herself with another artist.
What you mean?
I'm saying that's going to be the thing. If she would have done it, if somebody would have came out like a Jay-Z, then you would have get into, well, Jay-Z overshadowing Rihanna. I mean, you got folks out there.
Not if you really understand music, because you do realize that Rihanna has sold more than all those artists, including Beyonce.
Okay. Oh, see, I never knew that.
Yes. When I say she is number one, like the only people in front of her are the Beatles and Elvis. You know who's third?
Who's third?
Rihanna.
Wow.
See, a lot of people don't know how successful her music is, so she don't have to take a backseat to anybody. She can say, no, I do better than all
She can choose what she wants.
Yeah, and I'm a Rihanna fan. That's the thing.
I'm a Rihanna fan, but I just...
Because I love her music.
I just like the fact that, she's been gone for a while, but she stepped out there in the space that for the Super Bowl, which, of course, Jay-Z is, I guess he's the facilitator of the music.
Is he facilitating stuff now?
Well, he was in charge of when Snoop Dogg and them performed.
Oh, I didn't know that. When Snoop and Dre and them, he was...
Yeah, he was the one, I guess, I guess he's on some board with the Super Bowl.
You're talking about with the NFL?
Yeah, with the NFL. That makes sense. Remember, when they had that big issue with Kaepernick and all that, he talking about it's time to stop and move on.
Which one do you like better? Rihanna's performance or Dre's Nil?
Oh, Dre's Nil was
See what I'm saying? Who would you like better, Rihanna's performance or Beyonce's?
Probably Beyonce.
Who would you like better, Rihanna's performance or Bruno Mars?
Bruno Mars.
Now that you see my point.
Okay, I see your point.
That's why I said it's mid. It's mid.
So just to bring more people out there, I
think it would have helped.
Yeah.
So if you're pregnant, okay, do something a little extra, because we know you can't move like you used to, so you can't do all the same dance moves, which is kind of what we're looking for.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I still think that it was great to see her perform, and then you had all those dancers that were covered up in, I don't know what they were wearing.
I mean, I agree. It was good to see her out there.
Yeah,
it was good to.
But I think what you're saying is that it would have added more to her performance.
Yeah, like I said, people gonna see this and say, "Oh, he's hating on Rihanna." No, I'm not saying it was bad. I'm just saying it wasn't great. It was in the middle for me.
So Max says it wasn't great. So put that in the comments if you think Rihanna's.
I'm gonna get blasted for that.
He gave it a not mid.
Yeah, it's that mid.
Mid.
Yeah, folks out there, they know what that is. That mid.
Yeah, you know.
No, you know what that is too.
So Mac just gave
got that red.
So Mac gave it a mid, but anyway.
Yeah.
But the reason why we're here.
We're gonna get into the big stuff.
And this thing about this top 5, the Billboards.
Top 5 or 50?
Top 50, right?
Okay.
I would like to know where of course it's the Billboards, right? You might as well be an American Bandstand, those type of shows. How do they come up with this top 50, Matt? Because there's some people on here that are left off. Now, the top 50 before I let you go, are we talking about popularity? Are we talking about lyrics? Are we talking about music production? Or are we just still talking about streams? Because if you're gonna name the top 50, I mean, just run through the list a little bit, Mac. Who's on there? Who's not on there?
Who's up? Well,
I mean, who do you have?
They had Jay at number 1, which a lot of people don't argue that one. I can get it. I'm not opposed to Jay being number 1. That's just me.
I don't think Jay-Z's number 1.
I'm not opposed to it. Certainly, he belongs on the list. You can argue whether he's number 1, number 2, number 3, whatever. I appreciate the fact that they have some of the older artists on this list. So having Melly Mel and having Run on there.
Okay.
Who else is on there? People like MC Light.
Okay.
Queen Latifah. Curtis Blow. I think they did a good job by showing respect to those who came before. I do appreciate them doing that.
Okay, I agree with that. But in the manner of where they got it listed, I mean, look at this list. You got Jay-Z #1, Kendrick Lamar #2, which I don't agree with. Nas at #3. Tupac, you got Tupac at #4, Eminem, and you got Notorious Big at #6.
But here's the thing. First of all, you can never get this list right because it's based off of people's preference in terms of what they like. So no one is ever going to be 100% right with the list.
That's true. But if you're listening to if you're listening to Nas and you're listening to his lyricism, you have to really understand, the nature of the music and the music production. Now, we know sometimes Nas falls off the cliff but it matters on either production. But if you look at his lyrics, I mean, his
But shouldn't that be a part of the equation?
What?
You were talking about Nas and the production of some of the songs. So how are we evaluating? Are we just evaluating it just on lyrics? Because we evaluate just on lyrics. Then there are a lot of people that's not on this list that need to be on this. It's like, where's Big L if we talking about lyrics? Where's Pun if we talking about lyrics?
I agree with that. So then there goes again, what are they basing it off? But if they're basing it off streams and popularity, this list is incorrect. It's not correct.
I mean, I can't even think they basing it off of streams and popularity because they got people, this certainly gets you in trouble when you, really. All right, how many #1 hits does Ghostface Killer have?
Not that. He has a few, but not #1.
We're talking about #1 hits. And I'm a Ghostface fan. People gonna think I'm hating. No. How many #1 hits does Ghostface have?
None.
They got Ghostface 22 on this list. You can't tell me one #1 hit Ghostface had.
That's true, but if you...
How you number 22 on the list in front of people like DMX, in front of Missy Elliott, in front of Ice Cube, and you ain't got no #1 hits?
I think what number is Ice Cube on?
Ice Cube, I'm sorry. No, Ice Cube is in front of him. Ghostface is 22.
What's Ice Cube?
And so is DMX. I'm looking at the list backwards.
What's Ice Cube?
They have KRS-One behind Ghostface. Okay. They have Method Man behind Ghostface.
Really?
They got Method Man at 25, Ghostface at 22.
Let's take, who'd you say, DMX? Or...
DMX is right in front of Ghostface.
Okay, let's look at Ice Cube. What number is he at?
Ice Cube is at 18.
He should go up. Well, if you look at the big mute now, if you're looking at Ice Cube when he left NWA, then America's Most Wanted, then he's got to go up more than 18.
Let me ask you something. Is Ghostface Killer better than Busta Rhymes?
No.
They got Busta at 33. Ghostface Killer got more hits, more lyrics than T.I.
Of course. Now,
does he?
Who?
Ghostface. He got more hits?
Not more hits than T.I.?
Than T.I.?
No.
They got T.I. at 32.
Oh, T.I., I mean...
They got Black Thought at 28.
Nah, I don't know. Black Thought is...
If you're saying he don't got hits, okay.
Okay, we can go with that.
We can do it, but did the Roots have hits?
The Roots had hits.
Who was the main person from the Roots? So Black then you got to say, okay, but then do we give Ghostface Killer credit for hits that Wu-Tang had? But then Wu-Tang had a bunch of people. The Roots is a lot different because Black Thought was really the main person rapping in the Roots. There's only one other person. I forget the guy's name.
And they got Future at 30, 35. I mean, he's not even in the top 50.
Is Ghostface better than Ludacris?
Yeah.
Okay.
I would say
I said Ludacris got more hits than Ghostface. We talking about just Ghostface as an artist.
See, you talking about...
And people think I'm picking on Ghostface. I'm just saying how they got him on this list.
If you're looking at if you're looking at hits, then but if you're looking at lyrics...
Ghostface lyrics is better than Ludacris?
I would say they are.
Okay.
I mean, do you think that? Do you think they are? Or?
No. And I'm a Ghostface fan. People don't think I'm hating. I am. Okay, let me ask you this: is his lyrics better than Jadakiss?
Who?
Ghostface.
No. But
Jadakiss is 46.
Okay, but think of the type of beats that go behind it. It's two different styles.
It's definitely two different styles.
So how are they basing? What are they basing this off of?
That's what I don't know. I know what the people look like who made this list, and I'm gonna just end it at that part right there when it comes to what they look like. But some of the people that they have on here, man, I'm like, okay, you gonna not like this comment. I'm a huge Rick Ross fan. I am personally a person. Okay. I said personally a person, that was terrible. I am a person who I will play Rick Ross stuff all the time. He was number 50 on the list. Okay, so they got him out of the 50s, number 50.
Okay.
Now, how many number one Hot 100 hits does Rick Ross have on the Billboard Hot 100s? I'm gonna answer for you when you add.
He got quite a few of them. 0.
He has 0 Hot 100 hits. So, on the billboards, ain't they the people that made this?
Yeah.
He has 0 Hot 100 hits.
So then what are they looking at if he doesn't, if he claim he don't got no hits?
Well, in the Billboard 200, where it looks at albums, he has some number one albums.
Okay.
So, okay, I can see how you might do that. But then again, how do you leave somebody off like Ja Rule? When he got Billboard 200 hit albums and Hot 100 hits.
So where should Ja Rule be placed on this list?
Now, I don't know, but you telling me Ja don't fit on this?
Oh yeah, certainly. I mean,
you can say no, but I'm just like, okay.
If I would say, if you look at this list, he's not in the top 20.
Okay, I agree with that.
He's not in the top 20.
I agree with that.
But you got
here's another.
So
we was talking about it.
So is Chuck D? Is Future better than Chuck D, or do we have to separate it in terms of?
Well, they got them right beside each other, though.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, two different styles of music. So how are you?
Does Pusha T really? They got him. They got
bring him up,
bro. They got him at 29.
No,
they got him at 29. Now you telling me Pusha T music is better than Ja's?
No,
I can't.
I can't even think of a song by Pusha T.
I know.
Look,
some. Grinding was probably one of the things that maybe Grinding hit number one. I might be wrong about that. Outside of Grinding, tell me another song that you think was number one on the Billboard chart.
I can't think of any. No.
But they got Pusha T here.
And now they got KRS-One at 24. He's in at least top 10. And
but if we're talking about lyrics, we definitely have to have that discussion about KRS being
they
in the
got
top
LL,
10. But maybe they're not talking about that, you know?
So LL is who would you have rather have, LL or?
Listen, I'd say
or Kendrick Lamar.
Listen, any list for me, now this is my personal thing, any list that doesn't have LL and Snoop in the top 10 is a flawed list. I don't even need to look at the rest of it no more.
Speaking of LL, I mean, this is a classic here, How I'm Coming.
Because, there we go.
How I'm Coming, I mean.
And here's why I say that, man.
Okay, go ahead.
So if I were going to put a list together, here are some of the things I would use to evaluate it. First, longevity.
Okay.
Because it's easy for people to forget how hot you were at the time you came out at your peak and then maintain that not over 1 to 5 years, which some of these people are. They were only hot for about a 4 to 5 year period, and then that was it.
Okay.
People like L literally was making music 30 years after they came out. How many people on this list can say they was making music for 30 years?
Not too many. So
it's probably 3 people on this list.
So
3, maybe 4.
Yeah, but so again, just to add to your point, when you look at LL and you look at Crush Groove and radio,
Box.
And look, you go from radio to Mama Said I Will Knock You Out. You go I'm Coming. You go going back to Cali. You go to 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. he's relevant. His music is relevant.
Correct.
The culture, the way he dresses and his message.
And that came out, and he was in his like 15th year in the game of hip hop.
Yeah. So, I mean,
that's why it don't make sense to me when people disrespect L like that. I don't understand it.
Me neither. I mean,
and Snoop, how is Snoop not in the top 10? People give Pac so much credit, and people don't. Hey, here's another controversial thing. People don't understand Pac would not have been as big as he was if it wasn't for Snoop.
That's true, but
you don't put Snoop in the top 10?
Yeah, but Pac still, I think what they're looking at is, correct me if I'm wrong, I think they're looking at just the popularity from what I see on this list, Mac. But if you compare lyrics to Tupac and Snoop Dogg, totally different. But if I had to say, then Snoop Dogg would have the upper hand. And you're right. So before Tupac was, before when he went to Death Row, that's when, things really, really surfaced for him. But still, you got All Eyes on Me. Brenda's Got a Baby. So again, what are they judging this off of?
I don't know, but if you talk about popularity, then some of the other people, like I was saying, they were definitely more popular than Ghostface, but they got them below Ghostface. So which one is it? Seems like the criteria is changing when they was doing
Now, you may not like this, but Andre 3000, if you're talking about lyricists, he's in the top 10.
Okay, I can give you that. And here's the pushback on 3 Stacks.
Okay,
I'm a huge 3 Stacks fan too. People will say, well, 3 Stacks never came out with his own album. He don't have multiple albums where it's just him. Well, and that's a legitimate argument.
That's a legitimate argument. Yeah, you can.
And they can make that same argument for Black Thought.
But still, some artists can stand on their own, and some cannot. I mean,
so can we put an artist in the top 10 that never stood on their own?
No, I mean.
Okay, so then that means we shouldn't put them in the top 10, right?
You can't, but again.
So 12 is about right then. He right outside the top 10.
If you want to base it off that, but again, Mac, what I'm saying is that if you look at this list, right, and I'm gonna just go through it very quickly. Okay. Jay-Z is a lyricist.
All right.
Kendrick Lamar is a lyricist.
Yep.
Nas.
Yep.
Tupac, that could be debatable. Eminem is a lyricist. Notorious Big is one.
Yeah.
Scarface is
a lyricist. Yeah.
J. Cole's a lyricist. LL, Rakim.
Hold on, you skip some people.
Okay, where I skip people?
The thing started from the bottom. Okay. They got Lil Wayne at 7.
Lil Wayne, yeah. Yes. Drake, I'm a huge Drake fan, but he's not a lyricist. I mean, I'm not a Drake fan. Snoop Dogg, yes. Nicki Minaj.
Guess who's the number 1 selling hip hop of all time?
Drake.
Exactly.
But his lyrics are not. He's just, to me, just.
So if they talk about popularity, he should be number 1, right?
If you want to base it off that, Kanye West and Andre 3000, yeah, Rakim, LL Cool J, J. Cole. Okay, you got 16, you get to 17. Q-Tip.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Big Pun, Method Man, Karis One, Curtis Blow, nah. Ghostface Killer, that's on the bottom. DMX, Big Daddy Kane, Missy Elliott, Ice Cube, 50 Cent. Let's see what else. 17, 18.
Yeah, they got 50 at 17, Ice Cube at 18, Missy at 19, Big Daddy at 20. Ain't no way Big Daddy need to be that far down. People don't understand the impact Big Daddy had at the time. Bruh, Big Daddy was the shit at the time, man.
Big Daddy Kane, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he was running this thing for a minute.
And I ain't talking about I Go to Work. I'm talking about, Pimpin' Ain't Easy, all them songs.
I mean, it was really Rakim and Big Daddy doing like this.
Yeah.
They gave Rakim the respect in terms of they got him at 13, but then they dropped Big Daddy way down. Like, why?
So let me ask you this, Matt. Move the Crowd by by Rakim and Eric B. Is that a classic song? Music production lyrically, would that be in your top 10 songs of all time or top 20?
Top 20. Ooh, top 20 songs of all time?
Yeah, just the song and the delivery of hip hop.
Of Move the Crowd?
Move the Crowd, or what's another song? Eric B. the President.
I like President better.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
not saying anything's wrong with Move the Crowd.
So, and the reason why I mention that, these people who are making these lists, are they actually going through and listening to these songs? And I agree. I like how, I do agree with you if they have top, Billboard hits, if they do a dunk.
Oh yeah, I didn't even finish. I got so distracted. I didn't even finish my criteria.
Okay, go with your criteria.
So longevity, lyrics, and lyrics can be broken down into two categories. We can talk about lyrical content, or we can talk about structure of the rhyme itself. Okay. And I think both of those give you credit on the lyric side.
Okay.
So you got the longevity, you got the lyrics. 3, the popularity. So we give you credit for that, right? 4 would be what I call presence.
Okay.
So certain people have like stage presence, presence when you hear like Busta's presence was phenomenal, when you see him. Everybody ain't got Busta's energy, So those are just 4. I'm leaving out some criteria that I would use. Those are just 4 that I would use. And what I would do is assign point values. And longevity, for example, I would say you get a 1 out of 20. If you've been in the game 30 years, you get 20.
So when you even when at the awards, Busta, he came out there and did that when he's rapping fast.
Right.
So, he hit it. So, my criteria would be, lyricism, production. I wouldn't necessarily look at the culture, but mine would be lyricist, overall production, hits, hits that they have. But again, most of the, you take KRS from like my philosophy, okay? Is great production, great lyrics, but it's not necessarily somebody's gonna play in a club. So therefore,
correct.
If it's not being played in the club, most people are gonna say, well, that's not. It may not be as lyrical. If I'm on the right track, but if you look at if you watch the video and you can understand it.
So are we using that? So I think that's part of it. That's something to think about too. So how many songs did you make that goes to the popularity? Like you said, were they club bangers? Were they conscious records? Yeah. Like all of that plays a part. We can assign point values to both of them. Yeah. But nothing can be greater than the longevity piece. Because the labels will not continue to fund your music, i.e. cut the record, if you aren't selling to people.
Yeah, if you're not selling units, that's correct.
There's only there's either 3 or 4 people on this list who are either right near 30 years or have surpassed it. LL would be one, Dr. Dre would be another, Snoop would be one, and Ice Cube.
Yeah, and you got...
Now, you can argue that Ice Cube don't make music no more, but I'm still saying he's made music recently. Outside of those 4, who else on this list is still making music?
Not too many people.
Right.
So, exactly. But if you look at, Ice Cube, he's not making music. But if you go back and look at I would say look at Ice Cube after he left NWA.
But I even give him credit for NWA because I
give him credit.
When you first started rapping, was there a 30-year span of you making music till you stopped?
Right.
So, for example, somebody like LL, when the first time I heard LL? 84? 85? So that means, was LL still making music in 2014? And if he was making something in 2014, that would have meant that he made music over a 30-year period that was still relevant.
Mm-hmm.
When he made the joint, I don't know how long ago it's been. What's the last joint that I really remember? Headsprung with Timbaland.
Yeah.
Wasn't that sometime like 2010-ish?
Mm-hmm.
Almost 30 years after he made stuff like I Need a Radio? Like,
right.
You know how hard that is to still be relevant? That means you appeal to multiple generations.
Right. So we got one person before we sign off. How you doing, man? This is me and Matt. And so we was talking about the list of the top 50 list. So who is your, I would say, who would be in your top 10 or top 5?
First of all, I'd like to say thank you for having me on,
Dr. Mac, that's it.
The top 5, my top 5, I'm old school, so Black Dog.
Okay.
I'm just collecting what you owe to my old
KRS
joint.
One. Are you talking about single group or just individual rap?
Just individual.
J. Rue the Damager,
Mm.
Papoose, Eminem, as far as lyricists.
Oh, I thought that's what you was doing. You was naming a lot of lyricists.
Say again?
I said, I thought that's what you was doing. You were naming a lot of lyricists.
Yeah, I am. I swear I said as far as lyricists.
Okay.
Those are my 5. I didn't generalize it. I narrowed it down to lyricists. Yeah.
Okay.
So we're gonna be real brief so we can. So here's the top 5, and you let me know if you agree. Jay-Z, Kendrick Lamar, Nas, Tupac, Eminem, and they got Notorious Big at 6. Which one of those shouldn't be there?
You challenging my memory on those.
Jay-Z, Kendrick Lamar, Jay-Z at 1, Kendrick Lamar at 2. Let me finish the list. Nas at 3, Tupac at 4, Eminem at 5, and Notorious Big at 6. Which one of those should be removed?
Jay-Z and who was number 2?
Kendrick Lamar.
Kendrick Lamar should be removed. To me, because Nas and who was the last one?
Tupac is number 4 and Eminem is number 5.
Those should stay. Those 3.
Okay. That's interesting. What about you, Mac? Before we sign off, who should be removed out of this list, if anybody?
Pac should be removed out of that top list for sure.
For me,
Yeah.
Out of this, it should be. You're gonna hate me for it, but Eminem.
No. I mean, what over who's number 2 again?
Well, so if you looked at this list, I would have to say it'd be between Kendrick Lamar and probably Pac would be off the list.
If Kendrick Lamar and Eminem battled each other, do you seriously think Kendrick Lamar can hang with Eminem?
No, but what I'm saying is I wasn't a huge Eminem fan, lyrically wise, but I wouldn't buy his albums. That's just me.
I understand but if you are looking at lyricists and how they put things together and words that are what I call ABC rap.
Okay.
Cat rap, fat and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
That right there is that's not rap to me. When you can make words that rhyme that necessarily are not spelled exactly or
Right.
close to Eminem, he'll dust Kendrick Lamar.
You probably right.
But Eminem got dusted on his own album by Royce da 5'9".
On his own album. See, I haven't.
Royce da 5'9" and Kendrick Lamar Royce da 5'9" and Eminem did an album together, and he was getting cooked by Royce da 5'9" on every song.
Was he still with Dr. Dre at that time?
Yes.
Mm.
Yeah, you can go back and listen. Called what is it? Bad versus Evil. I think that might have been the name of the album.
I think so.
Yeah. Go back and take a look at that, man. Tell me what you think.
I can't elaborate on that one because I never heard that album.
Okay.
Of that album, so I don't know. So I can't really judge on that.
Okay. Well.
But I agree with you as far as the album is concerned.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Hooker about his album is an album, but individual when he's collaborating with somebody else, he does a lot of, his lyrics are nice.
Right. So, well, thanks, man. We're gonna chime out here and thanks for giving your comment on the top 50. Like I said, we trying to figure out what they're basing the criteria on, and so the next time we're on the show, we'll certainly have you chime in.
Yeah, absolutely. Appreciate it.
We appreciate it.
I appreciate you all. Thank you for inviting me on.
Okay, I'll talk to you later.
All right, be good.
Yeah. So,
top. There you go.
Oh, I can't do that. He got to go off. So Matt, we have talked about a lot here, especially the top 50 list. Again, Mac, there's people that have been left off this list. Be too many to name, but still, they gotta come up with a better criteria of trying to, who's top 50 on the list.
I mean, like I said, you'll never get it right. I mean, think about the caller that we just had. He had Papoose in his top list.
I don't
know how you put
Papoose. Album wise, no. But if you look, I won't say he's in the top 5, but that's just
albums, songs, presence. I think Papoose is, a dope lyricist.
Yeah,
but that's about where it stops at for me.
That's it. I mean, you might as well bring back.
But everybody's entitled to their own list, so I mean, that's his list. That's his list.
Yeah, you might as well bring back. What's your boy that was trying to go against LL?
Here we go. You back on Mo D again.
No, I ain't talking about Mo D. The other guy. What was his name?
You talking about Cannabis?
Yeah,
Cannabis was a dope lyricist for sure.
For a hot minute, then LL crusty. When you say now, I'm not gonna stick on Kumo D because Kumo. I mean, how did Curtis Blow end up on this list?
Hey, Curtis Blow was hot at one time. Now he ran the rap game, so I understood why they put him on the list. When you start talking about early '80s, I remember listening to it like, "Yo, what kind of music is this?" Like, I give Curtis his props. Other people might not when they go back and listen to it now, but I try to remember what was happening at the time when that person was at their peak, and Curtis was the hottest rapper at the time.
Right.
So I give him props for that.
Yeah, I think so. So, also, Missy Elliott is a nominee for Rock and Roll Hall of Fame,
and they got her at 19.
I don't know, but hopefully in the near future they'll tighten this list. But like you said, Mac, they're never gonna get it correct. But a lot of people that artists is on this list shouldn't be. I'm still against Jay-Z being number 1. But then Snoop is way down there. Of course, I'm a West Coast guy, so I'm always gonna advocate with my boy Ice Cube.
Yeah, they got Snoop at 9.
Yeah, that ain't bad.
Nah.
Yeah, but digging in the Crates Hip Hop Podcast, the Hooker and Mac Show, and so like we always do, we're gonna give Mac to take us out with words of wisdom for the day? What you got in your bag?
Yeah, I was sitting here thinking about it for the last 5 minutes or so. I just wanted to have people to reflect on what you can do, or I shouldn't say reflect, to think about what you can do in the present and in the future. You can't do anything to change the past, but you certainly can invest in the present and the future to change the outcomes of things that you currently don't want. So whatever you've gone through, whatever you are enduring right now, know that today is the day that you can start taking steps towards making the reality of what you want to be a reality by starting doing it today. So that's the words.
You heard it first. Digging in the Crates Hip Hop Podcast, the Hooker and Mac Show. We also have Balanced Behavior as a show.
I think I need to start doing a sports show, man. I think I want to start sports.
Okay, well, maybe we can start one. Maybe we can get somebody. So, Digging in the Crates Hip Hop Podcast, video productions be covered by Bria. So, check us out on Facebook. Check us out on Instagram. And as always, we're always looking for sponsors. And so, to help give us, for helping to give us quality supplies and things like that for our interns. It's solely run by interns. So, again, shout out to A&T Journalism Department for partnering up.
Big shout out.
So, remember, on every record lies jazz. On every beat on the record lies jazz, hip-hop, gospel, calypso music, country and western. Remember, music is the heartbeat of our lives. So this is Digging in the Crate Hip Hop Podcast, and again, rest in peace to the member of the De La Soul. Digging in the Crates Hip Hop Podcast. I am the Hip Hop Wizard, and my co-host is
Dr. Mac.
And we out.
You know them stakes is high. The instamatic focal point bringing damage to your burrow. Be some brothers from the east with them beats that be thorough. Got the solar gravitation, so I'm bound to pull it. I gets down like brothers are found, ducking from bullets. Gun control means using both hands in my land, where it's all about the cautious living. Migrating to a higher form of consequence. Compliments.